I gotta ask, the next time you stress the importance of playing 60 minutes of football, do you point to tonight? Because you exhausted every last second.
Hey, we've done that in 2 games now. The first game of the year versus Orlando, we had to do the same thing. Be resilient, stay in the moment, keep grinding to the very last second, and we've done that now twice at home. Just super exciting for our fans. Takes a couple years off my life, I'm sure, but these moments I'll never forget.
And the decision to go for the 4-point play, when did you switch from originally?
So again, it was just something that we had talked about some weeks ago, and so I was just unsure because it's just been so much turnover with the rule book and everything. So I went out there and I was like, we can still go for 4, right? And he was like, yes, you can. And I was like, well, let's go for 4 then. And it's just one of those things that you keep in your hip pocket that most everybody probably hasn't read through. But it's one of those moments where you use those things and it helped us win a ball game, and that was just huge.
All right, and the tackle on that, was it Daquan that had the tackle?
I didn't get to see.
It was a game tackle.
Yeah, there was about 3 people down there, and but just a great play. Our kickoff unit has been special all year, and so for them to come out in that moment, again, where we think we're going to overtime, and they go down there and make a play in the end zone to get a point to win the game. You want to talk about an incredible game? You're not going to get any better game than that.
Anybody else? I'll keep going. Okay. Talk about the defense. You got down 29-7. You got it, but they were held off the scoreboard for about 27 minutes of game time. That's tough to do in this league. Just talk about the defensive effort tonight.
Absolutely.
Anybody can talk about that.
I'll turn it over to him in just a second, but we talked about this in the offseason, that we wanted to, last several years we've been number 1 in offense, but we haven't been number 1 in defense. We really went out and recruited the exact players that we wanted for this scheme. And all our rookies are, again, they're growing so quickly. And so our defense is doing a great job from the first game to now. They are just playing out of this world. And so we're on our way to that goal of being the number 1 defense.
Yep. Just as Coach saying, being down like that, I have a lot of faith in the defense, the whole team really, but when adversity hits, that's the thing about this team. Adversity, when it hits, we're going to push through every time. So,
Darius, you've been part of a lot of big wins. What does this do for you guys going forward? A 5-0 at home has got to be awesome, but what does this do going forward to come back like this?
Man, I just think it just speaks on the character of our team, man. I mean, like he said, like Walden said, man, we really faced adversity today. We overcame that. So, but we made a lot of mistakes, but we just looked each other in the eye. We knew we had each other's back. So, moving forward, we go to Nashville. We just got to get back to the drawing board, correct our mistakes, and this is a huge win, man. I think this boosted the confidence that we already had.
Was there any frustration on the sidelines? You had the interception in the end zone, and then the start of the second half, turning it over on downs to 2. You were so close so many times and couldn't get through, but again, the defense hung him. Was there any offensive frustration going on there?
I don't know if you. I guess you could call it frustration, but we just expect better. We really just take care of the ball. You see how we started off the season. The first 2 games, we scored every drive. You know what I mean? So to come out and just make the mental errors. The ball was a little bit wet tonight, so that's slipping out the quarterback's hand and stuff like that. But hey, like I said, we just had to rebound. We faced adversity and we overcame it.
I was going to ask about that kind of four tough snaps there in the second half. Was it humid on the field or?
Those balls get wet, and it's tough. And so all the balls we've used this year have been not as maybe as some of the balls that we've played with in the past. But, like Darius said, we made way too many mistakes offensively. Defense held us into the game, and we were able to score the last couple touchdowns and 2-point conversion down the stretch. So hats off to our defense. And that's a team win, though, because sometimes the defense is going to play, and most of the time it should be the offense. But, hey, our defense is getting better and better. We're just happy we got those guys on our team, and we're just going to keep fighting to the end.
All right, I'm good.
I got you. How would you say that the difference between this game versus the Orlando game, what are the differences between those 2 close games that we had?
The Orlando game, there wasn't as many mistakes. We had a couple just perfect things that happened for them at the beginning of the game. They scored. Obviously, we fumbled the kick return. They kicked the deuce. It was 16-0 before we touched the ball. So that was a little bit different. This game was just pure, bad mistakes, and so we've got to come together offensively. We've got to fix a lot of things. We got to figure out how we're going to manage these balls, but none of those things are excuses. We expect better. We've been the number 1 offense here the last several years, and so, but we just can't make any excuses, and we got to go out and perform better.